Hi there, welcome to theclearskinessentials.com. I'm Natasha St. Michael and I am back. I've been away for months and I actually haven't been away. I've been working behind the scenes trying to fix a bunch of things that have kind of gone wrong over the past few months. And I will talk more about that and give you sort of a life update and an update too about just the website and the blog and all of that at the end of this video. Not everyone wants to hear about me and my life, so better I talk about it at the end. But today what I want to do is talk about stress, because I've been under a lot of stress, and stress is one of these things that is very much connected to the health of our skin. And this is one thing that comes up over and over again with my coaching clients, is that the fear and just the worry and the anxiety whenever you're going through a stressful time, how it affects your skin. And for a lot of you, you get breakouts from it, pimples, and like cystic acne, and some of you who are prone to getting have eczema or psoriasis, you get flare-ups during stressful times, or your skin just becomes sort of excessively dry or excessively oily or just irritated. And what to do to kind of manage that stress so that your skin isn't as affected by it and you can kind of ease through the stressful times without having such bad reactions. So I want to share with you, since I've been going through a really stressful time, what are some of my top sort of stress management tools or tricks to get through stressful times without it affecting my skin so badly. And plus I also want to give you some tips with your skincare routine of how to adjust it during stressful times, that your skin isn't as sensitive, because a lot of times when we are going through stress, our skin is a lot more reactive, a lot more sensitive, and you have to make adjustments to your skincare routine so that your skincare routine is supporting the health of your skin and not working against it and making it worse. So we'll get into that too as well. So let's jump into it. So the first tip I have is about not allowing yourself to be stressed over being stressed. As we know, being stressed out it's hard enough, but what's even harder is when we're hard on ourselves when we're stressed out, when we're critical of ourselves when we're stressed, when we're trying to control ourselves, or we don't like how we're handling the stressful situation, or we're anxious about the stress and what it's going to do to us, right? It's going to give us breakouts, and we create even more stress and this need to control the stress that just makes us even more stressed out. And this doesn't happen to everyone, but it does happen to quite a few people, that it's just when they're really sensitive to that stress, it just makes it even worse. And the more they try and control the stress, the worse it gets. And for me, I'm like this. And one thing I've learned over the years is that I tend to have this voice sort of in my head that's quite critical, and very like a perfectionist. And when I'm stressed, a lot of times I'm not doing things how I want to be doing things, and I'm very hard on myself, and I just put myself down, and it just makes me feel like this big. And instead of empowering myself during a stressful situation, I feel very disempowered. And one thing I've learned over the years is really to almost detach myself from the stress and to see it for what it is. It's kind of like stepping out of the situation and being like, okay, I'm stressed, I'm dealing with a terrible situation right now, or I'm overwhelmed right now, or I've got a lot of things to do and this is really stressful. But not putting myself in it and being like, oh, you should do this and you should do that, and creating more stress. Instead, it's like I acknowledge it and I tell myself I'm doing the best I can do, and then I kind of move forward. And I find this really helps. I find, especially for those of you that your body and your skin is really sensitive to stress, you got to watch what you're telling yourself or what you're doing that's sort of increasing the stress or adding to the stress, because that's what makes your skin kind of start really flaring up and having problems. And you want to kind of deal with the stress like you would deal with it with water. You want to let it flow. You don't want to be adding more fire and anxiety to that stress, which will just cause flare-ups in your skin. So that's the first thing, is really, if you find that you're a person that's very critical, very hard on yourself, that is perhaps a perfectionist, is to practice, every time you're in a stressful situation, of just kind of letting go. and it's okay. It doesn't mean that you're not dealing with the stress, but you're letting go of judging yourself while you're stressed. And I think that's the big thing is letting go of that judgment and that need to control, and just it's instead just taking action, deal with the stress, do things, but don't judge. Don't become stressed about being stressed. So that's number one. So the next tip I have is about your health. It's really, really important to be supporting your health when you're stressed out. Okay, because especially if you're prone to getting breakouts and flare-ups in your skin and reactive skin, you got to be taking care of your health, because it does make a difference. But I know it's not easy. I know that, like myself included, that there's been stressful times where it's like every single healthy habit and routine I was on before the stress just kind of fell out the window once I became stressed. I know that a lot of times you're under a lot of stress and you don't have much time, that you can't exercise, or you're not in the mood to eat healthy, you'd rather have comfort food, or you're not sleeping properly. I know it's hard. I know it's hard to take care of yourself when you're under a lot of stress and when you're in a difficult situation. So I do have a recommendation though, and this is something that helps me, is that what I do is I try and find things that are really easy to do, that are or more healthy or more supportive for my health, that don't involve like thinking too much about it, don't involve any planning, don't involve any time even. So I can give like one example. Like a lot of times when I'm stressed out or I have a lot of things going on, I might not be able to exercise, right? And I need movement, I need exercise. Like it's really important for our overall health to be moving our body around, not to be sitting around so much. And one thing I end up doing is, let's say I'm on the phone, instead of sitting down, I'm standing up. Let's say I'm working on the computer, instead of sitting down, I prop up the computer somewhere and stand up. I try and find things to do where I'm standing up and moving around, as opposed to just sitting all the time. And so at least if I can't exercise, at least I'm moving my body and just getting the circulation going, things like that. Another thing too is finding little things that can prompt you to be eating healthier, taking care of yourself a little bit better. So one thing is always keeping water close by, to actually drink water. A lot of times when we're stressed out or overwhelmed with things, we forget to drink water. But if you have a water bottle right next to you, you're more inclined to actually be drinking the water, as opposed to having to like get up and get a glass of water. If it's right there, you're more inclined to actually drink it. Another thing too is just having simple, easy food to make that's healthy, that's around, So one of the simplest, healthiest things you can make are like smoothies or soups, and they don't involve much effort, they don't involve much cleanup, nothing. And you can make like a large quantity of soup and have half of it in the freezer and half of it in the fridge, and you just warm it up whenever you need a meal, or you keep your blender out on the counter and just make a quick smoothie. Things like that, that when it's easy to make and you don't really need to think about it and it's right there, you can do that instead of like going to get like fast food or just a candy bar or something. It's finding sort of like healthy things that you can just place or have close by that are easy to reach and easy to consume, and a better option. Another thing too is little things like looking outside of a window. I would say, a good thing for stress is actually like going out and taking a walk and getting a breath of fresh air. But sometimes you don't even have the time to do that. I find just spending a few moments to actually look outside a window makes a huge difference. It's so simple and it takes like a few seconds, but it helps me clear my mind. It helps me gain a little bit of perspective, and it helps me to also just kind of break the focus, where a lot of times when we're stressed out, we're so focused on that little thing, and if you just look out a window or just step outside and just see the horizon, you get a better perspective of things, and it really does clear your mind. Other things you can do too is listening to music. Or recently I realized, it was just like a random thing, is when I'm really stressed, my skin gets really dry. And recently I'd stopped to buy cream for my skin at one of these natural skincare stores. And normally I buy like a nutty flavored cream, but This one time I bought a wildflower cream, and after I had a shower, I put it on and it smelled so good. And I couldn't believe how just the scent, the aromatherapy, how much that affected my sense of just feeling better, just my emotional health. Like it just uplifted me, and it inspired me. It gave me more hope. It just cleared me. And that's little things like that a lot of times we get so focused on, oh, I need to be going to the gym and I need to be making these meals and doing all this stuff, which sometimes when you're stressed out, that stuff's just impossible. Whereas if you can just light a candle and smell something nice or drink some water and look out the window, those little things can make a huge difference. So that's something that I recommend is to think about what are simple things you can do that make a big difference. That it just like 2 seconds can change everything and just allow you to have more perspective, allow you to kind of re-energize yourself and just release some of that tension you might be carrying when you're stressed out. And then the next tip I have is about reaching out. One thing about being stressed out is that sometimes it can feel very isolating. It can feel very lonely. A lot of times when we're dealing with super stressful time, it's hard because maybe the people in your environment, you don't feel like they understand you, they don't get you, or you're so wrapped up in this stressful situation that you lose contact with your friends or your loved ones. And it's really important to have support. I think there's nothing worse than having to like deal with stress and a difficult situation and kind of shouldering it all on your own. It's really important to have people in your life that you can talk to. And one thing though that I've learned over the years is that there's 2 different types of people to talk to at different times, and sometimes we talk to the wrong person at the wrong time and it makes it worse. And what I mean by this is that one thing I've observed is that there's times where we need to talk to someone to help with a solution to the problem. Okay, let's say you're under stress and you're trying to solve the issue, or you need someone to bounce the ideas off of, you need someone to talk to, and you need that person to understand what you're going through. And then there's other times where you just need someone to talk to. You need to like emotionally dump your stuff onto. You need someone to vent to. You need someone that might not understand what the situation is about or might not have a solution to the problem, but someone that just can listen to you, someone that's there for you, someone that understands you, someone that gets you, someone that is there to emotionally support you. And I feel that sometimes it's the same person that can do both things, but it's about knowing when you're reaching out for support what you need. Because sometimes we reach out to people when we're in a stressful or difficult situation, and we're maybe reaching out and they're giving us the wrong advice, or we don't feel like they're listening to us, or they're not hearing us, or they're not feeling what we're going through. And it can feel really frustrating. It can feel awful. It can feel very isolating. And I just find that sometimes before sort of I reach out to someone, I just ask myself, okay, well, what is it I need right now? Do I need someone to help me like find a practical solution? Or do I just need someone to talk to and that just gets me? And if I know that before I reach out to someone, then I automatically get what I need. But if I don't, sometimes I'm sort of like knocking at the wrong door, and it can just lead to more frustration. So that is something that if you ever feel like when you're in a stressful situation and you feel very lonely, or you feel very alone, or you feel like no one understands you or hears you, ask yourself, like, what do I need right now? Do I need someone to help me with this, or do I need someone just to be with me? And I think that will lead you to the right person and the right conversation and the right support. And the next tip I have is about getting to know yourself and how you handle stress and what works for you. Because a lot of times, you can go through 100 different things of like what you can do to manage stress. And you can have like this idealized kind of vision of the next time you're stressed, this is what you're going to do. But a lot of times we end up handling stress the same way over and over again. And as much as we want to do it one way, we end up doing things another way. And Some of you, you handle stress, you thrive with stress, you come alive and you can deal with it. Others like are very sensitive to stress, and you feel like you're on the verge of falling apart when you're under stress. And knowing how you respond to stress and how it affects you and what works for you and what doesn't, it can really help the next time you're stressed. And I find the only time you really know for sure is when you're like immediately dealing with the stress or right after. But a lot of times when we're thinking about stress, we're thinking about stress and how to handle it when we're not stressed. And so we have this vision of like, oh, it's, I'm going to do this and that. And it's easier said than done when you're not stressed. But when you're under stress, that's when you really know, okay, does this really work or does it not? And I just find is that a lot of times when we're in a stressful situation, we're so focused in on the task at hand and what's going on that we lose sight of ourselves. We lose sight of what we're doing to manage the stress and what works for us and how we balance things. So my recommendation is next time you're in a stressful situation, try and take a step back and just watch yourself. Watch what are those things that make you feel better? What are those things that you do throughout the day that help to release stress, that bring the stress down, that clear your mind, that inspire you, that make you feel a little bit better? And even making a list, it makes a huge difference because you make that list while you're stressed for yourself in the future if you're in another stressful situation. And you can go back to that and do those things and make sure that you can balance things out a lot better the next time. And lastly, when it comes down to your skincare routine, let's talk about making adjustments to it, because I find when you're stressed out, your skin just naturally is more reactive, more sensitive. A lot of times people that tend to have oily skin, when they're stressed out, their skin is even more oily. If you're prone to having dry skin, you might notice that when you're stressed, your skin becomes like even more dry and even kind of raw and flaky. If you are prone to acne breakouts or eczema, suddenly you get more flare-ups and breakouts, all of that. The thing about being stressed out is that your hormones are playing up, cortisol levels are rising, and a lot of times too it affects even like the oil production in your skin and even cell turnover. And you want to avoid using strong ingredients and strong products when your skin is sensitized from being stressed. And so my recommendation is to have just a super simple skincare routine. Wash your face. If you need a moisturizer, use a moisturizer, sunscreen, and that's it. I would strongly recommend, as soon as you're dealing with like a stressed situation, I would take a break from using any kind of active ingredient. So like no exfoliating acids, no BHA or AHAs, no benzoyl peroxide, no retinols or retinoids, things like that. Those ingredients, they're strong, and when your skin is healthy and balanced, it can handle those ingredients. But the moment your skin is like sensitized and you're stressed out, those ingredients they're not going to be working to your skin's benefit. They'll just be aggravating your skin even more, and you're just way better off like putting those aside, getting through the stressful time, and then once everything's back balanced and healthy again, and you're getting a good night's sleep and you're less stressed out and you're eating healthy, then you can bring those things back in. But when you're stressed out, it's like you gotta just take everything down a notch and just use things that are really gonna just support the health of your skin. And the same thing too, even with makeup, is that some of you might even notice that when you're super stressed out, that even using makeup on your skin might just aggravate your skin. So it's kind of like you need to just give your skin a break, give it a rest. The less you're putting on it, the better. So these are my tips for dealing with stress. I just want to mention that I did write up like a full blog post about my tips for stress, and there's even more tips over there. So you can go and check that out. I'll put a link to that below. And I'm so happy to be back, first of all, just blogging, making videos again. It feels really good. I needed this. I guess I'll talk a little bit about what happened and why I haven't been around all these months, because I didn't go anywhere. I've been in the background trying to fix things. So basically what happened is in the beginning of June, which is about 4 months ago, Google rolled out a new algorithm and my website was affected by it. And overnight, I lost 90% of my web traffic. And basically, I was getting about over 100,000 people on my website a month. And you could imagine if you lose 90% of that overnight with no warning, nothing. I wasn't hacked. I didn't have a penalty, nothing. I was just affected by the algorithm. And basically, it's like losing your business. I lost 90% of my income. And over the past 4 months, I've been working night and day trying to fix it. And I've hired so many people. I've spent thousands and thousands of dollars trying to fix this problem. And it's still not fixed. But the other side of it, and the good news of it, is that I redesigned the website. I've upgraded so many systems and redesigned everything, and the website looks beautiful, much easier to use, easier to find things, right? Like there's over 100 blog articles and videos on the website, and it's much easier to like find what you're looking for, and I love it. Like I'm so happy with that, but at the same time, it's been very frustrating that I haven't been able to recover the traffic. And also at the same time too, right when I lost my traffic, I was actually in the process of putting together a business plan of starting an online store. I wanted to make a store on the website of like a curation of like my favorite skincare products. And I was going to partner with my brother who lives in Montreal, Canada. He was going to take care of like shipping and packing the products and all of that. And we were like super excited about this project. And then boom, we lost the traffic, right? So I decided actually to go ahead though with creating the online store. It was a perfect time as I'm redesigning the website to actually add on the store. And right now we're carrying products from Living Libations and Suntegrity, and I want to keep adding more brands and more products to the store. And so it's a work in progress, but the store is happening. It is live. That's really exciting. And just the new website itself is super exciting. So I've been kind of just trying to focus on that. And at this point, I just want to get back to blogging. Like I want to get back to making my videos and my articles. Like this is my love. This is my passion. And I'm at a point now after all these months of like super stress and no sleep and just, I just want to sort of hand that over to someone else to let them sort it out. And I just want to get back to my blog, back to doing the creative stuff and building the website and things like that. So I'm back making videos and articles and I need to focus on that and hopefully things will get better. Hopefully we'll recover and we'll come back stronger. That's what I'm hoping for. So that's it. I'm sorry I've been away. I'm sorry that I'm going through this terrible situation, but I'm a very optimistic person and I don't stop trying. So that's where we're at. And since it's been so many months, if there's something you want me to do a video on, if there's a product you want me to review, anything, let me know. I've got a bunch of things that I'm working on and getting ready for you guys. And yeah, I'm just so glad to be back. And yeah, it feels good. So I will be seeing you again soon. I'm wishing everyone a super fabulous day. Go and check out the new website. And yeah, more to come. Bye.